Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Monica Blessing. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I really felt called to get on and talk about discernment and setting boundaries with spirit. And so let's go ahead and get into it. So, what is discernment? Discernment is when you're able to recognize and identify the energies that you are around and that are surrounding you. And the main way that you're able to do that is by fully being in your body and being present. We have a lot of people who are very ungrounded. I call these, and other people call them like airy fairy people. And so you're kind of floating a little bit above your body because it feels really good. I get it. When you're in your body fully, a lot of times you have to process through a lot of things that you decided that you weren't going to feel. And so it can feel kind of heavy at first, but I promise you, being in your body is absolutely amazing. And just being in your body is going to allow you to receive more and also to get more work done that you came here to do on this planet. So get in your body, get grounded. Your body is a beautiful, beautiful divine intelligence that we were gifted. And this intelligence is always giving you feedback and communicating with you. And so what I would say is tune in to your body. What is your body trying to tell you? What is the information that your body is giving to you? How do you feel? It's like listening to and just paying attention to what you're feeling in that moment and what's happening. So this could just be in general, and I'm just talking about right now, like discernment in general with anything. Even just with me speaking to you right now, what is the biofeedback that your body is giving to you? How do you feel when I'm speaking to you? Do you feel anxiety? Are you feeling stress? Are you feeling worried? Are you feeling peace? Are you feeling calm? What is that feedback that you're getting? So you, through that feedback, you're discerning, you're able to grasp what those specific energies are and what is being communicated. So that's a little bit about discernment. I really wanted to actually talk about me opening up to spirit and setting boundaries and what my process looked like in the very beginning. And so this video is for those who don't know how to set boundaries, or who have not had boundaries, or don't even know what it's like to discern. And so if you're that kind of person, this is for you. I have had a problem with boundaries a lot of my life, and this is something that I have had to learn to work with and heal and stick up for myself and create the safety so that I do feel safe to be in my body. I do feel safe to do my work. And so it's definitely been, I call these blessings. It's a lesson, but it's also a blessing, because I did all the things that, quote unquote, you're not supposed to do a lot of times, so I could figure out what actually worked for me and what doesn't work for me. So there were a lot of creative challenges or like hiccups that I had to go through, some painful things, because I had to learn what discernment was and what that looked like for me. How is my body communicating to me? What is resonating in my body? What is the feedback that I'm getting, and how to recognize those red flags and different things like that. So specifically today, we are talking about opening up to spirit and working with energies in general, but you can definitely take this information and apply it to many aspects of your life, because discernment is something that we all definitely need to have, because it's showing us, where things are resonant within our being. Is this resonating with you? Is this resonating with your soul? Or no, and that's okay. So listen to that one that is within you, that is communicating to you, and the biofeedback that your body is giving you. So again, I wanted to tell you a little bit about my story and the background of how I opened up to spirit. I actually I feel like I've always kind of been open, but when I consciously, and I'm talking about when I consciously started to work with spirit, when I was like, yeah, I do want to communicate with my spirit guides. I do want to see what information I can get. I do want to channel things like that. So, and the way that I first did it was I actually started working with meditation. Um, I went to a tarot card reader for the first time, and I just loved what she was doing. And I really appreciated just the information that I was getting. I loved the connection that she had, and I was interested in it. And so I actually asked her, how did you get involved in this stuff? What did you do to get started, to start communicating with spirit? And she told me she meditated. She did a guided meditation. So I took that to heart. I felt called to do it. And I went on YouTube and I looked up a guided meditation. And I did a guided meditation, and it was so powerful. That was like the first time I consciously, in my adult years, because I definitely was open when I was a lot younger and I closed off again, but that was the first time in my adult years that I had opened up to spirit, and I had this huge download of information that came in. So what happened was I completely opened up. My crown was open, and my guides came in and they started telling, especially my guardian angel, started telling me all of this information about my life and what was happening. I was in a partnership at that time, who this partner was to me. I had to actually, at the end of it, look up certain things because I didn't even know what certain things were that they gave to me. And that's another way that I knew that I wasn't making this up in my head. I was receiving this. With that being said, even if you are not like getting a big influx of information, you're still receiving. So I want you to know, if you are taking the time to set up a sacred space and to open up to spirit, if you don't feel like you're consciously getting information, I want you to know you're absolutely still going to receive information, and your body is going to embody that. So it may look differently. Everybody opens up differently. Everybody receives differently. It's going to be the way that works best for you, the way that you communicate best with spirit. So trust your process and trust that you are receiving information, because you absolutely are. That was something that spontaneous like awakening thing that I had was something that was almost like a one-time experience until I really started to be able to discern energies, because what happened was I opened up big and then I kind of started to close down, and spirit was like, you need that. I had to learn without the visual, because I'm a very visual person. And so I could just see like, oh, this is a spirit guide. This person's connecting with me. And anybody can come up to you visually if you're a visual person and be like, hey, I'm Jesus, right? And well, it looks like Jesus, or it might look like the pictures that you see. And so you might be like, okay, yeah, that's Jesus. But at the end of the day, what is the energy telling you? And that's the main thing. That is actually one of the most powerful gifts to have, is to be able to really feel into the energy and discern it that way versus seeing it. And so a lot of times people get the feeling first and then the visual. So I had to take a step back, and my body knew this because it's very smart and intelligent. And so that is what happened, is where I wasn't seeing as much. I was mostly feeling. I would just get things and I would just feel in my body. I know that this is right. I know that this is the message that I'm getting. Even if it wasn't a word for word, it would just drop into my body. And I just knew. So I had that awakening that happened, and that download that happened. And after that, I had so many ascension symptoms. And what happened was it opened up this freaking door to where there were all kinds of spirits coming into my home all the time. And I was scared, because I'm like, well, first of all, I don't know. I had nobody that I could go to that I could communicate what was happening and to ask what to do. I didn't have friends that were into this kind of stuff. I didn't have any mentors. I had nobody that I can go to. I had my mom, who is into the spirit stuff, but that was just not something that I could go to her about. And so I had nobody that I can go to. And this is one of the main reasons why I really wanted to share this, because some of you may feel like you have nobody to go to, and you don't know what to do. So as I open up that door, there's all kinds of freaking earthbound spirits that are surrounding me, following me around, like in my house. I could feel, and I mostly could feel the energies versus seeing them. I could see sometimes. I would just be like, no, I don't want to do that. I would literally sleep with a blanket over my head, you guys, because I'm like, I don't want to see these people. I don't want to feel them. Sleep with the lights on. Like, I just didn't know what to do. And so I ended up, I don't even know how, I started to like research and look at books and different things like that. And so I started to come into contact with things that would support me. And one of the main things that I got from, actually from the tarot card reader, and this is to do with earthbound spirits in general, because there's earthbound spirits that are here that may not even know that they have died. And so a lot of them just need help to cross over. And you could simply just be like, hey, it's 2024 or whatever year it is. You're dead. Do you see the light? And invite them to cross over. And you don't even have to do that. You can simply just say, hey, you can feel that there is an energy around you and you can feel earthbound spirits because they feel dense. It's different from when you're communicating from like a spirit guide or like angels, ascendant masters. Their resonance is so much higher. There's no density to it. It doesn't feel heavy. So these earthbound spirits, they feel a lot heavier. Like you can tell that there's just like there's like it's like the human part of them, but they don't have a body. So it's like when somebody comes up behind you and you start to feel their presence and you're like, fuck, who's there? So you're gonna feel that. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like to me. And maybe it feels different for you. So this is why it's important for you to tune into your body and to recognize and be able to pinpoint or discern the energies that are around you. So you can recognize what's yours and what is not yours. So it can simply be like you saying, hey, I feel this energy. I feel that there's something else here, somebody else here, and ask your guides or their guides, hey, whoever person's guides, I don't want to say that, whatever guides that this person has, I call upon them right now to assist this being in crossing over. And then sometimes they don't want to cross over, and that's okay too, but they got to get the fuck out of your house. They got to get out of your space. So you got to claim your space. That's another thing. Claim your space. It is yours. Set the boundary that this is your home and you're not welcoming anything into the home that is not of love and light. So that is also one of the main things that you can do. I personally like to do things called grid work. You can do grid work. You can place like different stones and things like that around your house to protect the home and make it a safe space to where only certain energies can get in. There's things like feng shui. So you can look up feng shui. There's so many different ways that you can do it. So that is way too much for me to get to and talk about. There's people who specialize in this, and I recommend you go to those specialized people. And also you can ask your guides and angels for assistance. You can simply ask them to help to create those boundaries for you. Hey, I need, for an example, I'll give you an example. I used to always use Archangel Michael. That was like my go-to person. He's the muscle. He's a muscle. He's a protector. And so I'd be like, Archangel Michael, I need you to protect my home. I need you to help you I need you to clear out the space in my home and to make sure that there's no energies here. So it's like literally working with those angelic frequencies. And so I would even imagine like the blue flame clearing the home, or a white flame, the source energy coming in, clearing up the space. I only welcome love and light into my home. And even with having those boundaries, right? You're saying like, I only allow love and light into my home, right? You're still opening up the door to spirit. And there's many beings of light that would love to come and hang out with you and have fun. And so what do those boundaries look like for you? What are you open to receiving in your home? Is it only angels? I only want to work with angels. I only allow angels to come into my home. What happened with me is I had all these spirits in my house. The fucking portal was open in my house. Literally, it was like a hangout space because I didn't know that I had to set boundaries. I didn't know that I could say, hey, you're not welcome here. I remember coming home one time and I sat in my car crying because I didn't want to go into my house because I knew I was going to feel all these spirits. And I knew that there was a specific man waiting for me when I was going to walk into my house. I cried in the freaking parking lot of my car, of my house. Like, your house should be a safe haven for you. So you want to make sure that you create that safe haven so that when you go home, you feel safe, you feel comfortable, you can relax into who you really are. And know that, there's not any energies that you have not welcomed into that space. When I walked into my house, when that guy was waiting for me, I started to walk up the stairs. I had this overwhelming feeling of like, it was like this energy. It was like this dark cloud energy that was like starting to cover me. And I flipped my motherfucking shit. I was literally like, get the fuck out of my house right now. In the name of Jesus Christ, get out of my house. Like, I screamed it so loud. And that being left. And so I want to say, you are powerful. You have God within you. You have source energy within you. And so you can claim your energy. You can demand that energies go. But if you don't feel that you are as powerful as you are, because let's face it, sometimes it's a process. I had to go through that. I had to figure out who I was and remember who I am. And so I called on a lot of assistance in the beginning. And so maybe you do want to call on support. Maybe you do want to call on Jesus Christ. Whatever being that you feel like resonates with you, that has a lot of power, that you see as very powerful, call on that person. I bet you they're going to come. I bet you they're going to come. So that is just a very important thing to do. Creating your safety net in your home, and just making sure that you are only allowing the energies that you want in your home to be in your home. And another way that you can work with the energies is, sorry about the ums, by the way, is for me, what I'm channeling like all the time, all the freaking time. And so in the beginning, when I was trying to figure out what that feels like for me, or when I'm getting information, I may sit and light a candle and say, okay, I'm lighting a candle. So I'm creating the space and the time. Whenever I light this candle, spirit is able to come in and connect with me. My ancestor, whoever it is that you want to connect with, whoever it is, you get to decide who gets to come in and who doesn't come in. And you can also ask your team to be like, hey, if you're going to open up the channel, hey, I want my guardian angel to only make sure that only angels can come in and talk to me. That's it. I only want angels. And that's okay. Because you get to decide. It's your body. And it's just like when you're in your everyday life, you get to decide the people that you hang out with and who you want to be around. It's the same thing with spirit. There is no difference. Spirit is here. Spirit is not in some other world. Spirit is right here. You just don't see it. Like what we see, like 0.03% of what's happening, you guys. So spirit realm is here. It's just the veil is over us. And you can definitely lift that veil. It's not something that is a permanent thing. You are going through a remembering process. So there's that. I wrote a couple of things down here, so I want to make sure that I'm hitting everything. Let's see. Oh, so one of the things too, when you're working with spirit, in general, when you're opening it up and you're channeling, you do want to make sure that you're working with the highest energies that are possible. So again, creating the space and setting the intention. I'm only working with love and light, and I'm only working with those that are for my highest good and for the highest good of all. So if sometimes you'll have energies that come in and you've never worked with this energy before and it feels different. You're like, who the fuck is this? Who is this? So you can literally ask this being, and you ask them 3 times, are you here for my highest good and for the highest good of all? Are you of light, and are you here for my highest good and for the highest good of all? And you ask that 3 times. And if they don't say yes all 3 times, get the fuck out of here. Tell them to go. Because they're not there to serve you. They're not there to serve the highest good. They're there to fuck shit up and fuck around with you. And that's opening up Pandora's box. So if you want my opinion, don't even mess with that energy. Don't even open up that motherfucking door. So, I mean, again, it's all up to you. You get to decide who you want to work with, what you want to work with. I choose to only work with the light and with those that are here to assist humanity and are here for our highest good. I do not work with any other energies besides that. That is my boundary, and that's it. So that being said, let's see what else. The thing was like when you're available. So I'm kind of like backtracking a little bit here because I was talking about like the candle. I said when I light my candle, that's when spirit's able to come in. You can even set time frames. So for an example, hey, I'm only available from 6 to 10 p.m. Whatever time you want. Because for me, and spirit likes to do this because you're quiet. When you're sleeping at night, everything is motherfucking quiet. It's dark, it's quiet, everybody's in bed. That's what they say. The freaks come out at night. And it's so true. Spirit wants to communicate with you because like that's when you're the most quiet, and it's like you can hear, you can feel, you're listening. Right? And so sometimes you might be asleep and it's like, and then you have like for me, sometimes I'll sleep and I'll have people come to me and they'll come into my dreams and I'll wake up and they're there like, hey, sorry about that. Like, that was the only way I could get in. So it's like, do you want that for your experience? Are you okay with that? For me, I'm actually at a point where like, I'm like, okay, fine. Like that's okay for me, but that might not be okay for you. So set your boundaries. If you like to have your sleep, you don't want to be waking up in the middle of the night, then what are your hours? When are you available? This is just like having a job, you guys. When are you willing to go to work? Because at the end of the day, that's what you're doing. You're working. So, and you're so open as well. So you want to make sure, again, I keep saying this, that you're creating safety for yourself. You're creating boundaries for yourself. It is so, so important. And that's the only way you're going to feel safe in your body. And you're meant to be in your body. You have a body for a reason. You're here to have a human experience and be in your motherfucking body. So that is just a little reminder there. And oh, one last thing, and there's so many things that go with this, so I try to make this shorter. I'm sorry if it's really long for you. I hope you received everything that you needed. I mean, there's so many videos out there, so go and explore, you guys, figure out other channels and what other people are saying as well. One of the things is what do you need to support you to open up? What is it that you need from spirit to make you feel safe as well? That's another thing. So you want to sit with that, and maybe that's something that you want to journal about. What is going to help you to feel safe to open up to spirit and to start receiving information, receiving messages. And by the way, even if you're not opening up in a super conscious way, like going into meditation and saying, hey, I want to connect with spirit, spirit is always communicating with you. You might pass a freaking billboard and there might be a sign of like, hey, meditate. Like that's your guides talking to you, telling you to meditate. I get so many signs all day long. Again, spirit's going to communicate to you in a way that works best for you. I work a lot with numbers, and numbers means so much to me. I love, love, love numerology. And so I get numbers all day long. License plates, clocks, like on signs, billboards, books, like all kinds of things. Videos, I might pause a video and then there's like an angel number there and there's a message there for me. So I get it like that. I also get a ton of information through music. And it's because I love music, and that is such an easy way for spirit to communicate with me. And so I might be called to like listen to a specific song and there's a message in there, or like I might start to get a little bit of that message from the song, and then I'm like, oh, spirit has something else here for me. And so I open up to receive what else there is. So yeah, I feel like that is kind of the main things. You guys can use like crystals and things like that to like help with your space and help with the energies like in your body as well, and helping with discern the energies here to help to create empowerment. I don't really like to say like safe. It's kind of like a tricky word, because like there's nothing that you're always gonna be safe overall. Like your soul can never be destroyed. Your soul is that I am presence. There is God there. God cannot be destroyed, right? So it's just thinking about ways where you, the version of you that is in a body, can feel more comfortable to opening up to the other side and feel more empowered. That's the word that we're looking for, empowered. So take whatever resonates with you and leave the rest. If there's any questions that you guys have, please feel free to write it in the comments. If there's something that was coming up that you're like, oh, I had a question about this, or what about this thing, and you want me to make a video on it, please feel free to write that in the comments. I am here to support you in any way that I can. And thank you so much for being here with me, for taking this time to sit with me and receive this message. I hope you received some pearls. I'm sending so much love and light your way. Aho, namaste. Thank you.